We were the ones that were always told we were too sensitive, too much, too loud, too whatever. We do tend to get overwhelmed more easily than a neurotypical person. We have a low frustration tolerance. Um, but it can also go the other way where sometimes we're like super elated and we have trouble containing that.
What do you teach women about handling emotional whiplash in a healthy way?
Yeah, so emotional dysregulation is a very big component of ADHD, and most people don't realize that. Um, so one of the things I work with them on, because I'm not a therapist, there are certain boundaries I can't cross with this, obviously. But what I talk about is, again, I go back to patterns. When do you notice that you start to get overstimulated in certain situations, right? Is it when you are like where there's a lot of people, or is it the one-to-one stuff that actually is harder for you? What are some things that maybe we could put in place ahead of time so that you feel a little more confident walking in, or feel, less, where we can prepare your nervous system for that kind of a scenario. Notice when you have, so a component of this is something called RSD, rejection sensitive dysphoria. And that is where sometimes even the perception of a slight or a criticism will just send us reeling, and we will end up feeling like the whole world hates us and whatever, right? And it's very real when you're in it. And so part of it is to say, okay, when you start hearing yourself saying everybody hates me or whatever it is that you're hearing in that voice, right? I give them an exercise to do that helps them sort of take the edginess off of it, where I say, now think about what you're saying in those moments, and then imagine that like Daffy Duck is saying it. Now, how does that feel? And they laugh because they're like, okay, now it sounds ridiculous. I'm like, right, right. It's not taking saying the situation isn't, I don't want to take away from the situation because it may be very legit in terms of how they're feeling. I don't want to take away from that, but they also have to find ways to get themselves out of it in a way that's healthy. And so if you can find a way to distract yourself, and that's one way to do it, is, doing funny voices or whatever with the inner dialogue. But I find that if you can find ways to prepare ahead of time, um, have as many tools in that toolbox as you need. Like, I'm a big, big proponent of deep breathing. I know it sounds completely simplistic, but it is the most effective way of calming your central nervous system.